friends and neighbors. I'm going to talk a little bit about herbs and food as medicine, about ways that we can get away from pharmaceutical drugs. I think that God made many things that we can use to maintain our health. I believe that God is a healing God. I believe that when we are sick, that we should be able to go to Him for healing, and we don't see a lot of that, and there are reasons for that, but that's not the topic of this video or this series of videos. I want to talk about how we can use the plants that God made and gave us to help maintain our health and to help heal our body when things get out of whack. And so, as you all know, I've had some serious health problems over the last couple of years, and through a lot of faith and prayers, I have gotten off of dialysis when I wasn't supposed to ever be able to get off. And I've been trying for years to get off of medication, and that's another story. I did a video on that, and I'll link to it below in the description. But I believe the world is getting to such a place now. I don't believe that we can trust the government. I don't believe that we can completely trust the medical field. There are wonderful doctors and nurses, but I think the pharmaceutical drug industries have caused a lot of problems for people. Well, I mean, if you just look at the statistics, there are so many thousands of people who are killed from prescription drugs that they are taking normally. I just think that God has a better plan for us than the modern medicine solution. And I have a lot of other reasons for that, but that is also part of another series. But what I'm going to be trying to do is to show you some things that I have used, and I don't use all of these like I should. It's one thing to have knowledge about something, and it's another thing to apply it. We all do that. We know the right thing to do many times. We don't put it into practice. So I have gotten completely off medicine before, and then I got kidney failure and all of that, and found out that my kidneys were destroyed from medication. It was either from the gabapentin or Neurontin that I was taking, or Advil, or it was from my acid reflux medicine. So once my kidney failed, I didn't take any of those medications anymore. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to take any medication, as you could well understand. So I still had GERD. I still had acid reflux. So it has been a struggle trying to control that and not be miserable. So I have been trying something, and I have come up with something that is working. In the meantime, I'm praying for healing, but here's how I feel about praying for healing. If you're drinking poison every day, I don't think we have a right to ask God to heal us from the poison. Do you know what I'm saying? If we're doing things, we are consuming chemicals and consuming junk food and all those things, and then we have health problems because of what we're putting in our body, how can we ask God to heal us and we keep on doing those things? So part of my philosophy has been, I can pray for healing, but I better do what's right for my body to maintain the temple that Christ lives in my body. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I've done, things that I've found. First, I'm going to show you the little recipe that I've been using for my GERD that has helped tremendously. I mean, I've been miserable. I was doing Tums and stuff for a while because I didn't want to take the reflux medicine, but Tums and stuff are really bad for you. Just do the research. So I finally just said, nope, I'm not doing anything. Lord, you can heal me, show me a way to do this naturally, or kill me. And I threw out, this is last week, I threw out every bit of pharmaceutical drugs and processed so-called medicine in my house. Pitched it. And I started getting better from that day on. I was fighting all that respiratory stuff. Next morning I woke up, everything started getting better. So, this book, it's Herbs for Health and Healing. It's written by the director of the American Herb Association, and it's from 1996. But I found a recipe in here called the Heartburn formula. And I didn't have everything on here, but I took the things that I did have and I made me a tea. And I have been sipping that tea every day. And it is really tasty, for one thing. And it has made a tremendous amount of difference in my acid reflux and my GERD with no medicine, just this tea and prayer. So here's the recipe for the tea. It's 1 teaspoon of chamomile flowers and lemon balm leaves and licorice root, 1 teaspoon each. Well, I had the chamomile flowers and I had lemon balm leaves, but I didn't have licorice root. But I think I put a little burdock root in there. It says a half a teaspoon of slippery elm bark. I didn't have that. 1/4 a teaspoon each of fennel seeds. I didn't have that. And catnip leaves. I have catnip. I forgot about that, but I didn't put that in there. I will the next batch. 1½ cups of very hot water. And 1½ cups of carrot or apple juice. And that is optional, but it really makes it taste a lot better. So you combine the herbs and pour the very hot water over them. Steep for at least 15 minutes, then strain out the herbs and add the juice. And I used apple. Drink 1 cup after each meal. Stored in the refrigerator. This formula will keep for a couple days. That's what I'm drinking. And you guys, it is delicious. It is very good. I added a little honey to mine, and honey is very good for you as well. So that has been making a huge difference in my reflux and GERD. So then the other thing I have done is to work on my cholesterol. My cholesterol, when I had my test, probably, 6 months ago, it was like 299, and so the doctor told me, you've got to take the cholesterol medicine. This is too high, especially with kidney problems. My kidney is operating at 38%, so it's still not filtering very well. And she said, you've got to get your cholesterol down. And so I had been taking some garlic pills. And, I'd heard that helps your cholesterol. Well, it didn't do anything. It had been like a month or two. And so I talked to my sister about it. She said, no, you've got to do it for 5 or 6 months before it really kicks in. So I came home. I did not take the cholesterol medicine. And I did a garlic supplement, aged garlic extract. And I did a flaxseed oil capsule. And when I went to the doctor last week for lab work, my cholesterol had dropped 50 points from garlic and flaxseed oil. 50 points. So I'm going to talk about garlic just a little bit. And you guys, this book is amazing. I got it on Amazon. It's called The Healing Spices. And that's the doctor's name, Bharat Agarwal. Now let me tell you about him and tell you about this book. Dr. Agarwal is the world's foremost expert on therapeutic use of culinary spices. He is a PhD, he's a biochemist and endocrinologist, currently a professor of cancer research, immunology, and experimental therapeutics at MD Cancer Center in Dallas, Texas, I think is the name of it. Let's see. I think that's where it's at. This book is of 50 spices that can heal your body. It is made up of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of studies that prove scientifically that these spices, these plants, work to heal your body. So let me tell you just a little bit about what garlic will do. Okay. The accumulated knowledge over the last few years suggests that intake of garlic by humans may either prevent or decrease the incidence of major chronic diseases associated with old age, such as atherosclerosis, which is when your arteries get clogged up, stroke, cancer, immune disorders, brain aging, arthritis, and cataract formation. Garlic, in short, garlic is one of the world's most potent natural medicines. The National Institute of Health contains more than 3,200 studies on the therapeutic power of garlic. It's also brimming with vitamins, minerals, and other powerful antioxidants that guard against heart disease and cancer. Now, if you're talking about fresh garlic, people are worried about their breath. Here's some things you can do. It says drink red wine with your garlic meal. Add parsley to real garlicky dishes. Chew on fresh parsley sprigs at the end of the meal. Or chew a few roasted fennel, anise, or cardamom seeds. These studies have shown a team of researchers analyzed the garlic-rich Mediterranean diet. These researchers have shown that if everybody ate 1 or 2 garlic cloves a day, the worldwide risk of heart disease would drop by 25%. It lowers blood pressure. It lowers total cholesterol. It doesn't lower your bad cholesterol, but it reduces total cholesterol and triglycerides. It can remove plaque in your arteries. Plaque is dangerous because a chunk of plaque can break off, clog the artery, and trigger a heart attack or a stroke. Garlic can stop, slow, or reverse this process. You guys, there are thousands of studies showing this is true. Isn't it amazing to think that God would make a little plant that can do all of these things? It's amazing. It also lowers the risk of heart attack. It said Russian researchers gave either a garlic supplement or a placebo to a group of people with heart disease. A year later, they calculated the garlic supplement had reduced the risk of a heart attack by 40%. Garlic supplement for a year reduced the risk of heart attack by 40%. That's amazing. There are more than 600 scientific studies on cells, animals, and people that shows that garlic can prevent and treat cancer. This is a cancer research doctor. It prevents colon cancer. In a meta-analysis of 18 studies by researchers at the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, people with the highest consumption of garlic had a 41% lower risk of colon cancer than those with the lowest or no intake. It can stop the advance of early colon cancer. It can prevent stomach cancer. It can prevent endometrial cancer. It can prevent other cancers. Lung cancer by 22%. Prostate cancer, 36%. Brain cancer, 34%. It can prevent colds. Russian researchers studied 600 children aged 7 to 16, giving some of them a garlic supplement and some a placebo. Those taking the placebo had 4 times as many colds. He said, I recommend a clove of garlic a day to help reduce your risk of cold or flu or for general good health. If your kids seems like they're always getting colds and everything that comes along, start giving them a garlic supplement every day, just every day. There are thousands of studies that prove this is true. Diabetes, it can give you a healthy drop in fasting blood sugar from like 138 to 113. It helps prostate problems, aging skin, thrush, sickle cell anemia. It said if you don't get regular garlic in your diet, if you're not going to eat 1 or 2 cloves a day, taking garlic supplements, especially if you have 1 or more risk factors for heart disease, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, overweight, diabetes, or you're over 65, take a garlic supplement or eat the garlic. The most studied form is aged garlic extract. You can get aged garlic extract anywhere, and it has all of these amazing qualities. Now, my cholesterol needs to go down further, so I'm going to keep doing that, but I'm going to add other things. Here are other things from this book that can lower your cholesterol. Fenugreek, ginger, horseradish, lemongrass, mustard seed, nutmeg, onion, oregano, pumpkin and sesame seeds, sun-dried tomatoes, turmeric, and wasabi. So this is just amazing. There's so many things we can do ourselves to keep us out of the hospital, to keep us off of pharmaceutical drugs, and to help us to live a healthier life. So I'm on a goal to apply the knowledge that I know, because I've been researching this stuff for several years, and a lot of it, I believe, has helped me with my kidney. The Lord did the most of it, but He laid it on my heart to eat properly. And so your body works better when you eat properly, when you maintain it, when you put the right fuel in it and not chemicals and poisons. Your body will perform better. And so that's where we're at. So I'm working on something for my blood pressure. And I did have to take a blood pressure pill last night because my blood pressure got high. I hated to, but it was high enough. I needed to do something. So what I'm working on my blood pressure now is, well, I'll tell you about that in the next video. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. Goodbye. Very important. And that is, I am not a doctor. I am not telling you that what I have tried will work for you. I'm telling you what has worked for me. And another important thing is that you always need to check and make sure that there are no warnings for an herb that might affect you. I do want to say that you hardly ever hear of a death from somebody using herbs. But there are some precautions, and it's very, very easy to find them, and I'm going to show you how. I am going to just search, let's do chamomile. One of the best places to look for information about a herb is with Dr. Axe, and I always search for Dr. A-X-E and then chamomile. And there you go. And he will have, let's see, there will be all kinds of information. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, it tells you all of the wonderful benefits one by one. And then at the very bottom of the page, there's recipe, then it says risk and side effects. It's always at the bottom of every page. this is talking mostly about, okay, and it reads down through it to be kind of careful. If you're using chamomile oil, your skin might be sensitive to it. But it says this would be something you might need to consider. People with a hormone-sensitive condition such as endometriosis, fibroids, or cancers of the breast, uterus, and ovaries should avoid using chamomile because it may act like estrogen in the body. So, if you have any of those things, you know to ask your doctor, do you think it's okay if I use chamomile? Drink chamomile tea every day. One other thing to note is that chamomile products are thought to be mild uterine stimulants. So if you're pregnant, speak with a professional before ingesting chamomile extracts. So that's it. If you're going to use chamomile, if you have a certain kind of illness with hormones, and it tells you right there, endometriosis or fibroids or cancers of the breast, like that, then check with your doctor first. Another thing you could type in is chamomile, CHAMOMI, contraindications, CONTRAIN, contraindications, there it is right there. And it tells you who is chamomile contraindicated for. People who are allergic to some of the essential oils, people who are allergic to pollen, children under 5 years, and pregnant women. So you can always find out. And like WebMD has information. The National Institute of Health, chamomile, NCCIH, it gives information. So there's all kinds of information that will let you know, but most likely there are none. So let's look at one more. Lemon balm. Let's LEMONBALM, Dr. Axe. Lemon balm uses. He has almost every herb on here. One of the benefits is it protects against heart and liver problems. It's a natural antibacterial. It may be used against diabetes. And under each one of these things, it gives you studies and information. It might fight anxiety, help sleep and concentration. And then let's get down to the bottom. Risk and side effects. It's generally safe for most people, but because it affects thyroid activity, people taking thyroid medication or who have severely underactive thyroid should not take it. So that means for me, and I made a note of this, and this is the last of that recipe, but my next pitcher full I'm going to make, I will not have lemon balm, and I'll use catnip instead because I still have, my thyroid levels came out normal, so they're probably, and that's without medication, and that was just the Lord. But to be safe, I'll take out the lemon balm and put in a different herb and see if it works just as well. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing medication, and always check for any contraindications or for any side effects or risk. It's easy to find. If you're not sure, message me. I will help you find it. And always, you can ask your doctor. So, all right, thank you. I'm really leaving this time. Bye.